And here we are. Number
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, number 7.
Yeah, still going.
Still going. And you know, it's probably because of you, but I'm getting a lot of traffic on my LinkedIn. So it's probably you.
Yeah.
Not, but whatever.
No, the thing is, I think the more we get into this, the more people are looking for content that is related to COVID, but not actually talking about, hand washing and social distancing, because that's just, yeah, I think we get it now, and it's just a matter of keeping that practice going. So I don't know, maybe some people are enjoying the conversation.
I
I
hope
know
so.
I am. So
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about some stuff today. And do you want me to pull up the Edelman report?
yeah, so most of you will have heard of Edelman, global firm with some, massive clients. They released a report a while ago, and a couple of things really jumped out. I just wanted to highlight them for you. You can actually see the report yourself. It's edelman.com/research/COVID-19. You can look it up. So, Mani, if you can scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the interesting factoids from this was that more than 70% of people surveyed actually said that if they perceive a brand is putting profit over people at a time like this, they will actually leave that brand. They will lose trust in that brand forever. And this is, this is something that a lot of businesses don't realize. People nowadays will not forget. They will not forgive. If you go back to the very famous J&J case study, Salman, you know this one where the crazy person put cyanide inside Tylenol tablets way back in the day. And J&J actually took a massive loss. They pulled out hundreds of millions of tablets of Tylenol across the East Coast and West Coast of the US. In those days, I believe that the cost was in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And for about a week, the share price of J&J went down, and then it just skyrocketed upwards because people realized that J&J actually walked the talk. When they said that, for them, the credo, the things that they live their life by, doctors and nurses and patients come first, and then community, and then employees, and then the shareholder. So I think those lessons remain fresh and important today, and perhaps more relevant today in the world of social media, where nothing like that will ever be forgotten. The second part of this that I found really interesting was, Salman, if you could just scroll down a little bit. Where did it go?
The brands being key source of information.
No, so brands must focus their messaging on solutions, not on selling. So if you're really trying, if you're going out there and hawking a product right now, this is not going to work. People are going to see through it, and they'll be like, dude, what are you doing? My life is ending. I have maybe someone in hospital. I have myself, maybe I'm coming down with symptoms, and you're selling me your crap? Like, what is wrong with you? Try to understand my situation. And I think marketers really have an opportunity to empathize with the challenges that their customers are facing at a very deep level, not at a shallow level. We really need to go deep on this one and really try and empathize with someone who is unwell, who's perhaps looking after a family of people who are unwell, or if you're not, you're just living in an environment of fear and uncertainty, and there's a death toll mounting across the world, and it's pretty scary out there. Stop selling. This is not the time to go in with that hard sell. So yeah, on that note, I think the one notable example to the first thing we talked about is probably Amazon. where Amazon gets so much bad press, but I think it's become a utility in such a way that people actually can't do without it. So, Mr. Bezos just keeps on getting richer, and he keeps on firing the little guy who tries to improve working conditions at the Amazon workplace. Another story is just recently, come to light. So it's kind of pathetic, but it's Amazon. What are you going to do, right? So on this note, Salman has an interesting experiment to share. And Salman,
Yeah.
if you want to talk us through that.
Yeah, so some of you may know I consult for a company called Greenish, here in Toronto. And so the CEO and I decided that we were going to do something which was along the lines of the same Edelman Report strategy, where we would do something to show that we were connected with the community and we were not selling. It was absolutely a non-sale oriented activity. We wanted to do it, down and dirty, spending zero money, zero expense except for the actual activity itself, and we wanted to see what traction we could get out of it. So what we thought was we would do something of WhatsApp, follow it up with a click to a Google form, and give out free products. That's it, and we would take care of the
Yeah.
product cost and the shipping. And it would be a no question asked, absolutely zero questions. We would not ask whether you fit a profile, nothing. We just put it out on our WhatsApp profile. So this is the WhatsApp message that we came up with. We put it out at 5:10 p.m. on Sunday, and you won't believe it, we started getting hits on our Google form at 5:15, and it was like I said, no questions asked. We didn't care who you were, where you were from. You put in your data, you put in what products you want, and we'll ship them. And so we ran it over about a 28-hour period. We stopped at around 9 on Monday, the next day. We got 174 responses. Um, so this is the kind of responses that we were getting. And then we closed it at 9:50 on the 30th. Now we got 140 unique entries, so people actually went on and put in double entries as well. They did they tried to get more out of it. That's all right. We said no questions asked, and we meant it. So we did clean up the data, though. We did clean it up, and you can see that 155 people wanted our moringa, 153 wanted our curcumin, and this was all done on the fly. We had the CEO and I were looking at the responses as they were coming in, and first we thought we would choke it at 100. We said no, let it go. Then we said let's choke it at 150. We let it go, and then at nine the next day we said okay, it's tapered off. We're not getting a lot of responses, so we let it go off, and we closed it at that point in time. And take a look at this. So 77% of the 140 people agreed to be on our marketing mailing list. So there
Yeah,
are
that's
benefits.
crazy, man.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
crazy.
subtle benefit. It depends on how we utilize it from here on. But there you go,
Mhm.
the beginning
Mhm.
of loyalty. And uh, so what we did was, you might find this interesting, that since we put in links to the products on our website, see that spike over there? That's our activity. And you can see the past couple of days there were no big spikes. So this is a very interesting point. We had new users coming in. We had even though we had one transaction at that moment in time, we had a couple of other transactions as well as the days went by. And so website traffic, email marketing potential, engaging with the community, giving out free products that are immunity boosting. It's not just an activity for the sake of activity. Uh, our products are all NPN, which is a natural product number approved from Health Canada. So it's all above the board. We didn't make any false claims. This letter
Mhm.
went out with the physical products as they're being delivered. This letter will go out where we've got this code in there, CSR 20. So if people want to go online later, till April 30th, they can go online and they can avail a 20% discount on anything else that they want to buy. So we put in a physical end to it as well. So thinking of Omni, so we started WhatsApp, went on to Google Form, went on to website, came back into physical, and then delivery. So and no agency was involved, no external you know vendor was involved, all done in-house, no cost to the company. I just feel that at this point in time we shouldn't be putting out expensive advertising. This is just not the time to do it, but it is the time to reach out, to connect, and to show the stakeholders, the community at large, that we are all in this together. And so this was
So,
a small initiative that we've done.
so I mean, this sounds very interesting. So, how would you recommend if someone wanted to scale something like this,
Yeah.
and look at maybe thousands of orders, not a couple of hundred, or even to give out a couple of thousand free samples? How would they do that? How would you recommend scaling that up?
So there's no issue, as long as you can deliver the products. Go ahead. The thing is that because of the immunity boosting point, we were able to connect it to COVID-19, right? If you have something that connects in at this point in time, this is the time to build brand loyalty, to show that you are connecting in with the community. And by the way, the connections can be really tenuous, because there are restaurants that are giving free food to healthcare providers, right? So there's no
Yeah.
direct connection between the food and COVID-19, but
No,
the
but it's just supporting the effort.
there you go. So if you can't find a direct connection, be creative and come up with a connection. And but the connection needs to be there. It's not just flooding the market with garbage. It's not
Yeah.
about that. Okay, I have expired product lying around, let me dump it. No, it's not that. There needs to be a connect with what it is. And I just thought I'd share it because, even though like you said, Umar, this is a tactical exercise, it doesn't matter to me, because even though it was tactical, it connected in with the strategic objective of showing the brand cares for the community at this point in time. And I think
Yeah.
that's really important.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think it's a very interesting exercise, and you know that Pakistan, WhatsApp is the big thing in Pakistan. So various past organizations we've used, for example, at Kareem, we've used WhatsApp extensively for captain groups. WhatsApp is used in the real estate sector. There are dealer groups. There are, for example, groups around large developments in Karachi. I don't want to take any names. And, people are getting lambasted on these groups. There's a lot, if you want something to go viral in Pakistan, it has to go viral on WhatsApp. There's no other way that it's going to go. So yeah, it's a very powerful tool, and I'm glad to see that you leverage it so creatively and so quickly and so cost effectively. Three uh, three three C's for that are guaranteed to warm the heart of any CEO.
Yeah, so I do want to talk about one other thing though, which is that when you're putting up a Google form, right, some people would think that it's fake. And so on our social platforms, since I was monitoring this on a real-time basis, we did receive only 2 messages from people who didn't believe that this was real, so they exchanged past us. So out of
Mm-hmm.
174, there were 2 who didn't believe. But we kept our channel open, and people reached out and they asked us, and we said, no, this is real. Please put it in right now. We're running out of product. Right.
Right.
So if you keep your channels open, and if you keep a tight watch on how many you're giving away, I think that was really important for us, because we could see the responses come in real time. Now, if you're running this off a third party or a vendor, then you won't have real time access usually, being a client. And the vendor would
Yeah.
say, oh, you know what, I got 500 entries. Do you have 500 products to give out? And you'd say, what? I don't have 500 products to give out. So when do you pull the plug? But being able to monitor it and do it in real time, I think that was just fantastic for me. The ability to watch. We put it up and we started watching the entries drop, tuck, 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 and that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
That's real data falling in real time. I think for me this was my first experiment like that. I loved it.
Very good. Good stuff. And I think on that note, keep on fighting the good fight in Canada. Pakistan seems to have been blessed with a relatively flat progression on COVID. So, Allah Malik. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, one of the really interesting posts on this I saw from Omar Saif, the data genius that we have. He
Mm-hmm.
said that one of the unis, I'm forgetting the name, has done research that it seems to be that places with 5 to 10 degree temperature and high humidity is where the virus spreads very quickly.
Okay.
So and those areas which have lesser temperature and less humidity, and those areas which have higher temperature and higher humidity, it seems to be that the spread is slightly different. So if you see it
Okay.
on a map,
Interesting.
all of these countries almost fall in the same longitude, all of them. It's a band across the world, starting from Washington State down to New York, cutting across Europe, Iran, and then up to China. It's the same longitude because the world is round, It, Gola. So
Isn't 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 this longitude
I
and this is
forget
latitude?
this way, whatever this way.
This is latitude. This is latitude. Yes.
Acha,
You
whatever.
had me
Please
going
give
for a
me some
second. I was
credit.
like, wait, what? No, I think there's a lot of speculation around why this is the case because Pakistan is alhamdulillah only at 2,000 cases. Part of it is probably underreporting. Part of it is that we're just not testing enough people. But the reality is that if we had more cases, there would be more people at the hospitals, and they're not there.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
silver linings, I guess.
I
But
guess. I guess.
tough times for many. And again, hearts and prayers going out to those who are affected by this. And we're pulling for everyone to come through, inshallah.
Yeah. Inshallah. All right. So here we are. We're
All
done.
right, bro. All right, have a
Okay.
good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Inshallah.